In the heat of World War II, amidst the chaos of dogfights and the roar of engines, some stories of incredible humanity shine through the darkness. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing, a tale that blurs the lines between friend and foe, a pilot who risked everything not to destroy, but to save. This isn't just a story about aerial combat, it's a story about moral courage. Imagine being a pilot, your country is at war, and your orders are clear: eliminate the enemy. But what happens when you see that enemy, not as a faceless target, but as a human being in peril? This is the crossroads our pilot faced. Our story begins in the turbulent skies over the Pacific. Tensions are at an all-time high. Every mission is a life-or-death gamble. The pilot we're talking about was an ace, respected and skilled. He'd seen his fair share of combat and followed his orders to the letter. But one fateful day, something changed. After a fierce engagement, he watched an enemy plane spiral out of the sky, smoke billowing from its engine. He saw the pilot bail out, his parachute deploying against the vast blue canvas of the ocean below. The orders were simple: leave them. An enemy pilot rescued could fly again. But, as he circled high above, watching the tiny figure bobbing in the endless water, alone and vulnerable, a different instinct took over. He wasn't seeing an enemy anymore. He was seeing a man, just like him, thousands of miles from home, facing certain death. He could be an easy target for other enemy planes or anti-aircraft fire from nearby islands. His own squadron was calling him on the radio, demanding to know what he was doing. He ignored them. As he skimmed the waves, he managed to drop his own life raft, positioning it as close as he could to the downed pilot. The enemy airman looked up, stunned. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. An enemy plane, which had been trying to shoot him down moments before, was now trying to save his life. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated humanity that transcended the hatred of war. He circled one last time to make sure the pilot was safely in the raft, then pulled up and rejoined his formation. The radio was silent. No one knew what to say. He had defied a direct order. He had aided the enemy. By the book, his actions were treasonous. When he landed back at base, he was immediately called to face his commanding officer. He expected the worst: a court-martial, dishonorable discharge, maybe even prison. He walked into the office, stood at attention, and prepared to accept his fate. He had followed his conscience, and he was ready for the consequences. But what happened next was just as surprising as his actions in the air. His commander looked at him, not with anger, but with a complex expression. The story of his rescue had already spread like wildfire. While some were furious, others were quietly in awe of his bravery, of a warrior, but the bravery of a humanitarian. The commander knew the rules. He knew he should punish him severely. But he also recognized the profound moral courage it took to do what he did. After a long, tense silence, he simply said, "What you did was wrong, pilot. Don't ever do it again." And then he dismissed him. There was no official punishment. It was an unofficial acknowledgement that sometimes the rules of war can't account for the power of the human heart. This act of compassion wasn't an isolated incident for him. On subsequent missions, he became known for this quiet rebellion. If he saw a downed airman, regardless of their uniform, he would subtly alert rescue services or drop supplies if he could. He was playing a dangerous game, one that could get him killed by either side. His own comrades might see him as a traitor, and the enemy might not understand his intentions and fire on him anyway. Think about the psychological toll this must have taken. Every day, he was tasked with fighting a war, but he was also secretly waging his own one-man campaign for humanity. He had to compartmentalize his duties as a soldier from his convictions as a human being. It's a level of mental fortitude that is almost impossible to comprehend. This story forces us to ask some difficult questions. What is true courage? Is it following orders without question? Or is it listening to that inner voice, that moral compass, even when it puts you at odds with everything you're supposed to be? In the brutal calculus of war, where lives are measured in strategic value, this pilot chose to see the individual. He saw a person, not a uniform. His story is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, the light of human decency can't be completely extinguished. It's a testament to the idea that our shared humanity is stronger than any flag or any border. The enemy he saved that day might have gone on to fight again. But the act of saving him sent a different kind of message of hope. It reminds us that history isn't just about battles and strategies. It's about people. People who are scared, people who are brave, and people who are forced to make impossible choices. The heroes of war aren't always the ones with the most victories. Sometimes, they are the ones who remind us of our capacity for kindness when it's needed most. What would you have done in his shoes? It's a question worth pondering. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of wartime conflict. If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more true stories that explore the human side of history. We'll see you in the next one.